All right, guys. Welcome to our interview segment of this Unholy Trinity episode.
Yeah.
Today we have a special guest with us today. You want to give a brief introduction to who you are?
I'm Jason. I'm currently studying at SA Melbourne, and I'm on my second year now. Yeah.
So am I.
And so am I.
And not me.
Odd one out. Hey,
But we
what's up?
are filming in my uni, so I guess I'm the real winner in the end.
Fair.
Are you gonna dox yourself?
No, that was it. Maybe someone will recognize it if they see the video footage. But for all you audio listeners at home, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But
If you say don't dox us, they're gonna dox you.
that is how the internet works.
But enough about us.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
As well as can be on a rainy Melbourne day.
Rainy Melbourne. That's true. Yeah.
But the weather has turned well for us now, so.
Really has.
Only because Jason's here, really. I think.
Oh yeah. Our ray of sunshine.
So,
God,
Yeah.
my forehead is just so shiny.
you're like in the gap.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the sun.
Well, the sun is.
But that's good because
That's-
that means
yeah, you
you're
get the best-
eliminated
you get
and
the
we're
best
not.
lighting.
Just
Just
get the shade on your
on your face.
Yeah. Oh God. The shadow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, I'll open up this discussion with a little bit of light banter, but this is also a pretty important question we wanted to start with. I have heard rumors that you have seen the impressive work of cinematography that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I was thinking, what is your take on this based on it?
Based on mid question.
Just see my Letterboxd review. Actually,
Oh, yeah. How many stars
that's a
did you give it?
masterpiece. I reckon I give it 3-star.
Honestly, that's like pretty close to my score of the movie, right? I give it like a 5.5, which is like,
Well, it's a 3
oh,
out
it's
of
a
5.
6.
3 out
Yeah,
of
3 out of
5.
5.
Yeah.
Pretty much
That's
bang
pretty
on.
much like, yeah.
That is 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched it because I needed to get my mind off the chamber, and it worked. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun movie. The
Yeah.
nostalgia was there. Yeah.
No, fair enough. Have you seen a review of it? Do you know like the group's take
No, I
on
don't
it?
think I have.
Not a true fan.
It's in our
Which episode was that?
last two. Not last two, I think.
When did
2
Mario come
episodes
out? It was
before.
whatever week it came out,
2
which
weeks.
is like
2 weeks ago.
yeah.
I don't know. The only thing that I remembered vividly now is that you guys were debating on public holiday surcharge.
Oh my god, that's one of our banger takes, you know? Yeah. What's your take on public holiday surcharge?
I think it's fair as long as the employees got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got extra pay in peak hours and holidays and holiday extra pay.
Yeah.
If I would say, yeah. So no, I think that's fair. Yeah.
No. That's a good
Interesting
take.
question.
I like that one.
Just roping you in to talk about all of the topics we've debated about in our podcast.
The next thing I got for you is just one word, and it just says Frank. What does this word mean to you? What is Frank? Why did I write it?
How did I remember?
How does it spell? Right?
It's just Frank, the name. I just wrote Frank. I don't know why I wrote it.
You want me to tell you
Well, why did I write this?
Frank Ocean.
Oh, do you listen to Frank Ocean?
No.
No, that's fair. That's
No,
fair.
I think I've listened to some of his songs, but not regularly.
No, for sure. Alrighty. So, you're a little bit of a film industry man to some regards, say.
I would say, yeah. Okay.
A little bit of a, yeah, a little bit of a
Started
film.
two years ago, so I mean, I'm pretty new to the industry, and no, I haven't done much yet, but striving.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, for sure. I mean, we'll talk more about your filmography, but just like, how did you like get into film? Now, this could be interpreted into how do you like movies, or like how did you legit get into like making movies? But up to you how you want to interpret this question.
so I started doing theater from year 7. And that continued until year 12. Like in year 10, I was very overwhelmed with school, and I was doing so many plays that I couldn't probably do my school anymore. Like my grades went horribly down, and I decided that I want to join homeschool, and I was homeschooling throughout year 11 and 12, and those years were the most productive I was on theater. And then when I was looking for uni, I didn't want to do acting because I found it exhausting and it's just not for me. And theater school usually are for actors, basically. So I was looking for some space for me to create as a person behind the scene. So that's why I joined film, basically. Yeah. I didn't have prior knowledge about film whatsoever, like at all. I was just producing theater, which is quite similar to film, but there's some differences between them. But yeah, my experiences were just producing, and I did a little bit of sound design for theater and lighting design. That's all. Yeah, that's why I got into film.
That's cool as.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool story.
Yeah.
How okay to start out?
Yeah, we do a bit of plays. Well, we've done a little bit of.
Been doing.
We've done some play stuff.
Behind the scenes play
with the RMIT, they have a drama club.
Oh, that's cool.
I've done some of the behind the scenes. I'm acting in the current play that they're doing. Yeah, fun fact. Shout out to the RMIT Red Axe. I don't know. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Oh, if I dox myself.
Oh, you did those.
Oh!
Okay.
I guess it's too late for that. But yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. So you said you had like no prior knowledge, but like I assume you like movies.
I do.
Yeah. What's your favorite film?
Of all time, oh god, I would say my top 3 are Three Colors Red, the Three Colors trilogy. Call Me by Your Name was also really good, and oh god, what else? I completely forgot the name. Oh, the World of Us. It's a Korean film. It's really good as well. Yeah.
Should add this to our watch list.
Sure, we should. I mean, I've seen Call Me by Your Name. You know, I'm a cultured student.
Spot the film noob. I haven't heard of any of those.
Three Colors Red is it a Swedish film? I reckon it's a Swedish film. I forgot. It's directed by Krzysztof Kiełowski. Yeah, he made mint films, like for real. He's one of my favorite European directors.
Shout out to Sweden.
Shout out to Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swedes.
Is that a German thing though?
Shush.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. This is I know someone definitely added on to this one, but I wrote, who's your favorite Unholy Trinity member? And then somebody wrote, not Jack.
Who else is in that document?
I don't know. I wonder who that person was. You don't have to answer this question.
I don't play favorites.
That's a good answer. We're like
Us too.
favorite child, right? Like,
child.
Favorite what?
I was saying like you don't pick your favorite child.
Yeah, you don't pick your favorite child. So
Yeah.
who's your favorite child?
I don't have a child.
Cool.
Not that I know of.
Film.
Oh.
Your films are your child's. You know. Someone could
That's
say.
fair.
What is your favorite film child?
That I've worked on?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All of them?
That's a hard question. Yeah, I would say all of them. But we'll see throughout the interview.
Well, speaking of which, we'll start going into your I was gonna say discography. That's music. Your filmography, right?
Yeah.
Should we start off with the most recent one, which was The Chamber?
Yeah.
a little. Do you want to give a brief like synopsis, I guess, of what the chamber is?
Yeah, so The Chamber is a short psychological horror film that follows a boy called Julian. He goes to see this psychologist, Dr. Jordan Patrick, and because he was haunted by this witch, and whilst doing the interview with like not interviews, like therapy sessions with Dr. Jordan Patrick, the witch starts to get onto him as well and start messing up with his mind. So basically that's the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have seen the film. Us, the Unholy Trinity. We went and saw this film, and wow, it was great.
Thanks.
Well,
Glad to hear it.
So what was your role in this film?
So I was the editor and I was the colorist as well. I helped with continuity and data wrangling on set as well. Yeah.
Do you want to just talk a bit more about? I feel like editor. We know what an editor is. Do you want to talk more about like being a colorist? Because I'm kind of interested. So what's being a colorist?
In short, your eyes hurt, your bum hurts, and I don't know. That's all.
Anyone who lives in their mom's basement, really.
Yeah.
Playing Call of Duty. You know, same experience.
Because
Yeah.
you're sitting down in the studio for like 5, 6, or 7 hours and looking at the screens, even 3 monitors at the same time. It's exhausting. Like, but I don't know. Although it's challenging and it's tricky because we're working on software and it change over time. Like there's always new updates and everything. We have to keep learning to keep updated basically to new technology. It's a fun job actually. It really is. Like I don't know why I got into it in the first place, but seeing like my first time going to editing suite and seeing that like the color panel with all the balls and all the wheels, it's just fascinating. It's fascinating. I don't know, like how much difference can color make to a film. It's just crazy.
And I'd say that like with this film in particular, there was well, I'd say great use of color. There's a lot of like scenes that rely on like darkness and stuff to work. And I thought it was great. I think you did a good job.
Thank you. That's not just my job. That's also a production designer's job.
Yeah.
And lighting, basically, because everything starts in pre-production. So you can't basically just change a white set into a really like blue or warm. You have to plan that before you even started shooting. Like, yeah, so basically we need to figure out the tone and the mood, the costume, the color of the shirt and everything, with the director's vision and lighting. You can't mess with lighting because if you mess your lighting, in some cases color grading can fix it, but mostly not. So fix it on set, not in post. Yeah.
Because definitely we hear that a lot. Fix it in post.
We've said that a lot.
So many times. But a lot of people, it's probably obvious how much planning goes into creative stuff. But also, what I hear a lot in the audio world when we go in class, you can't polish a turd.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. That's very true.
That is true for many other industries as well, and just like any creative thing.
I mean, Dio and Sunny work in post as well. Like,
I guess technically, well, you have actually.
Yeah, I've done audio post, but in anything really, especially when it comes to music, you have to get the planning right first. Otherwise, you're figuring things out, and then you're spending half an hour troubleshooting.
Cough.
A reference to how it took so long to set this up.
Yes.
Tech issues. It happens.
It's a new experience. and I'd say it should look good on the camera if I didn't mess it up. And I guess hopefully it'll sound good.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
Let's go.
Suit is good. Suit too.
All right. Another movie that we watched of yours was Nature Abhors a Vacuum,
Okay.
otherwise known as the Proust movie. That's written down here.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you know what that is. Yeah.
And yeah.
Production. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, no. Did you want to talk like more synopsis-y about this one as well?
Yeah, it's funny because even the group chat of the production is called the Priest film. It's not even the title. Like I was just wondering why every department's group, like camera and lighting, like the sound, the production, the cast is all Priest film crew. I don't know. It's just
Little
funny.
name as well. So we got it right.
Yeah, it's like your in the Star Wars terms, like it's like your Blue Harvest. They're like, yeah. So, what a reference.
Yeah. So the film is about a priest that falls in love with this choir girl, and throughout the Easter weekend, like he tries to get closer to her, but then he's contemplating between his love, like the how do I say this, like the world pleasure and his commitment to God, because
Well, I guess this is his worldly desires and his
worldly desires. Yeah, that sums it up. Like, and his oath to God to serve, and yeah, that's basically about basically about it. Like, it's a morally grey film. Now love morally grey film.
Yeah.
Let's make a good story.
Well, we also loved it, so yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It was really funny though. We've already talked about this, but I'll say it for the podcast. We were watching it with like AI generated subtitles.
Yeah.
So all of the dialogue was just not the right dialogue. But
Some of it was right.
yeah, some of it was right. We got the Easter thing somehow because it did not say Easter for us. It said like a random line, but he was like, "Oh, that's Easter actually." So it was crazy, but yeah. I thought it was also really nicely shot. I was like, "Wow, these shots are so."
It really
was pretty. Yeah.
It won Best Cinematography and Best Production Design for SA Film Awards last year. Yeah, it was really good. Like, even some people called it too neat, like too overly prepared somehow.
Oh.
It's very how do I say this not in a negative way? Because I didn't intend to say that.
Sweaty. Try hard.
Very well planned.
Yeah, very
It
well
was just
planned.
very well planned.
Very well planned.
Pre-production.
Yeah.
In a musical term, it would be like
Sounds like-
overproduction, right?
Because it's really good. The color is great. The music.
The rule of thirds. We were like the entire time we go, "Oh my god, the rule of thirds in this one."
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's great directing as well. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
Well-
it's great, and that production. Anyway, I'm just rambling.
That's fine. Fun to work on.
It really was, because it was my first film that I've worked on with upper try students, so it was a new experience for me. It was quite daunting at first because I was asked to be a co-producer, and then with the film that has, I reckon it's a $5,000-$6,000 budget. It's a big production, and organizing that amount of money with that amount of crew. We had like almost 50 crews.
Yeah.
this was such a challenging thing to do. But everyone was great. Everyone was really supportive. For me as a try one student back then, it's a really great experience for me. Yeah.
And it paid off.
And going off that, actually, we were talking a little bit prior to the interview, but like you're talking about like what it means to be a producer and like how people don't necessarily like know from like looking at, because you got like people know the director and stuff like that, but not everyone knows the producer. Do you want to talk more about like producing, what that entails?
Yeah, some people, because I don't really follow the star signs, but people has always been like, they have always been assuming me that because I'm a Virgo, that I'm really organized and stuff. Like people would just say, "Oh, of course you're a producer. You love your people, don't you?" And I say, "I do. I love organizing bars and everything. I love leading a group, a team, and that that's just, I don't know. I just love leading a team, and that brings me happiness, I guess, and enjoyment. Producing, I started with theater, and producing a film and theater is kind of a different, because after your play is done, you'll just have to do the play report, basically, just the budgeting and everything, that's all. But in film, when you're done editing and it's screened, like for instance, a student film, it's screened at your school, your job as a producer is not done. Like that film has to go somewhere, and you're the only person that, and the director obviously, like you're the person that has to take that film to the world, basically. Take it to a film festival, submit it to a film festival, basically. It's sometimes can be stressful, and people take that job for granted, but doing producing for the last a year or two has really opened my mind about how the film industry works, and having to, I had a film distribution masterclass and a film festival lecture, and knowing how much work after the film is done to submit it to festival, and all the paperwork stuff that needs to be done for festivals, just a lot. And yeah. I do really appreciate a good producer that can lead an entire crew, that you're basically the glue to every each of the crew members, and I don't know, I just have a lot of appreciation of producers. And to be a good producer, you have to try every role, basically, because
it's fucking started like raining. Those drips.
Water from the leaves, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Anyway, because I've met producers that act like bosses, basically. Just boss people around. That's not what you should do.
Yeah.
So you just have to try every role, because from that you can understand each role's challenges and difficulties, so you can have more empathy towards them and become a better leader, I reckon. Yeah. Anyway.
For sure.
Our glorious leader, Jason.
That's true. We don't have a producer for this podcast, do we?
Not yet.
Co-producers,
I'd say,
technically.
yeah, it would kind of. Oh,
Because, like, yeah.
you manage a lot of our like social media and shit.
Yeah, I guess I'm the social media manager.
I try and like put together the
You're
episodes.
the planning guy.
And I show up.
Oh yeah, you also do the audio and stuff, like you.
That guy too.
On occasion.
Yeah.
Sorry, branching off that, So you were also a line producer on this film,
The priest.
the Priest film, yeah.
I was.
Can you also just explain what that is? Just because I feel like that's not a very well-known role.
Yeah, I have zero clue.
A normal producer.
It's not common here. Like line producers only common for Hollywood films usually. The term, but basically it's just co-producing. Line producers has to manage because producers are not always going to be on set.
Yeah.
And line producers basically taking over the role of producer on set,
Yeah.
and it's basically a private secretary of a producer.
So you're your own secretary. in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I manage all the budget, not all of them, but like partly I do all the catering, transport, logistic, special equipments and generator. That's all I can. That's what I do because I wasn't doing location scouting. That's the only thing that I hate about being a producer. Location scouting, I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Like whenever
That was literally us
Hey,
today
we did
to
that
find this
today, 2 hours
location.
ago.
I hate location
Yeah.
scouting. Some people enjoy them. With the film that you guys watch on exhibition, Rest in Slays, but the coffin, the
Yeah,
sleazy
yeah.
coffin salesman. I was co-producing that, and I just told my producer, like, please don't assign me the location scouting role because I just hate it. Completely hate it.
I thought you like to go to new places and stuff. At least you like to
but
go on
not
trains.
but not for filming.
Yeah.
Like,
No?
because I mean permits are not that bad, but it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. And even for rigor mortis, for Steph to, I think she had 5 locations approved. That's just awesome. That's unbelievable. She's a really great producer. Yeah.
For well, I was talking a bit about how like me and Sunny at least we've worked on our little projects like the Mobile Masters thing and stuff. But we just shoot in one house in front of a green screen.
Yeah, if it's all in one place, that makes it extra easy. Right?
Yeah.
But the
Efficiency.
post-work-
Yeah.
But the post work is gonna be hard.
So how much you cut down on ease of, which is making things easy compared to going all out. It's an exponential difficulty curve.
Oh yeah, that's what do you call those things of like diminishing returns?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Is diminishing returns?
I've never
like
heard.
the more you go into it, maybe there's
The
that
less you get out
diminishing,
of it.
the sense of diminishing results. Yeah, that's a thing.
Okay. But in terms of the final movie that we watched of yours, and that was In Retrospect, which we've codenamed Therapist Movie. was that one of your codenames?
That's funny because The Chamber is also a therapist movie.
That is true. That is actually true. Yeah.
I think it's a sign. I've seen so many therapist movies. I should see a therapist.
No, it's a sign that therapists don't work.
Ah.
All they get is they get haunted by witches. Either they'll break down themselves and not help us. You know.
Yeah, according
Therapy
to,
doesn't work.
I feel like there's a
films
bit of
that
a
work.
theme there with that. Yeah. Speaking of which, so we're talking about like this film has some complex themes in the way that like about like trauma and stuff like that, and like how the therapist kind of inherits that from the clients in a way. We were going to say like what are your inspirations, but I was actually interested in like because did you produce this one?
I think you're credible.
I think I was co-producing that one because
Yeah.
I didn't really dive into the story. I was just helping with the paperwork
Oh, nice.
and permits and catering. That's all. But yeah, it's a really interesting script.
Yeah.
With a touch of French New Wave and German Expressionism. With the high angle, that's very German Expressionism. Anyway,
Damn, you're a real movie man.
I mean that's the other thing that's my argument to people who think that like especially people who are in the industry that think film school is useless. Although you can dive those theory on internet, but I don't know. Having that taught to you and practicing those like films movements sort of just I don't know. Okay, let's restart that because because my brain wasn't braining.
Practical peer-on-peer learning is invaluable.
Yeah. Like those theory thing that you got, and that just basically what made you a better artist is that you know what meaning lies behind your work and what even critical theory that you want to apply and you want to tell within your artwork. Like those sort of things that people don't have. No, like this is like no pun intended to everyone, but this is the one thing that my lecturer always say to me about film school. That you know what you're doing because you learn the history of art. What does shot like type of shot mean, and when to apply it? Basically, I'm just rapping. I don't know what I'm talking about anyway.
It's all the technical stuff, shot compositions, and
like behind those technical stuff, there's always meaning behind it, and those meanings are often not learned by people who didn't go to film school.
Yeah.
They just know practical stuff. Okay, this is a cool angle. This is a cool angle, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
What is the history behind it?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why you go to film school.
what's the art behind that?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, why is this Dutch angle here? That's the common one that I see.
I'm just making simple things complicated. Oh my god.
No. This is all good stuff.
This is the mind works of Jason.
Yeah. Complicated.
It's a mind palace that we're really happy to be delving into.
And well, yeah. So something I'm personally interested in as someone who likes like writing and stuff like that, and script writing as well. So, as a role of let me rephrase that. Sorry. As the role of a producer, you're like taking scripts, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're deciding like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna make it into a thing. Can you talk to me about like what you look for in a script, sort of thing?
Alfred Hitchcock once said that a good film needs three things: the script, and the script.
Whoa.
And what's a good script like? It varies basically, but it depends on what kind of producer you want to be. Whether you want to be an indie producer, commercial producer. Obviously, you're gonna see different scripts, and you have to know if those scripts gonna fit into the market that you're gonna work in. For example, for indie, I just look forward to usually shorts, 8 to 10 pages. Basically has a strong character, has strong wants and needs of the character, and the ending. Basically, that's all I'm looking for, because I'm just so sick of films that always glorify their protagonists, like sort of making them to be like the role model, and I just like a story that the protagonist is basically not an angel, basically just same person with flaws, and within the story he learns something, whether it's in a hard way or not, and they make mistakes and learn from them to be a better person. That's basically my go-to scripts, and not always got what they want, but got what they need. Yeah.
Down to earth and relatable scripts.
Real life human stuff, you know?
I think the priest one is a pretty good example of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes peace with themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about what you want. Like, the more human your film is, the more people can relate to it, and that's why it's a good art. Basically, that's why people love it.
Which is why I don't like the Mario.
Hey,
Full
you
circle
just hate
moment.
to tell you.
I mean, it's an animation. It's for kids.
It is for kids.
It's
No,
for
that's
kids.
like what I prefaced the
Yeah.
review with. I was like, this is for kids. I know that's not, I'm not
Yeah.
the design audience there.
Just basically like Disney's. You don't put dark stuff in Disney.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did
Guardian-
kill Bambi's mom, so.
Wait for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's all. I'm not going to speak any more on the subject, but check that one out if you want to see some dark stuff in a kids movie.
I am a fucking Martian. Wahoo!
Because personally,
Yeah.
I don't really watch Disney films. Like growing up, I didn't watch that. You guys might be discombobulated by the amount of Disney films that I've watched. Less than 10. Less than 10. I don't really watch Disney films.
But Disney owns everything now, so you might have watched more than you think.
That's fair.
Are you talking about the original Disney animation stuff, right? Yeah.
The original.
Like your Lion Kings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Never watched that.
Watch the Lion King.
Actually, yeah.
It's fine. It's just Hamlet, and it's ripping off an anime as well. So like you know,
Oh, yeah. I
skip that
think,
one.
yeah, I know about that.
I haven't watched Lion King either, so.
Really?
No, I
You feel like the sort of person who would have watched.
probably have watched it. I just don't remember anything from it
Actually, that's a sunny memory. Yeah.
because it would have been when I was a kid.
You're a big Winnie the Pooh fan, are you?
Oh, I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh. Oh my god,
Yeah.
favorite Winnie the Pooh
The
character.
Pooh's Disney, right?
Is it?
It is.
I think
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it's not any. It's in the public domain now.
Yeah.
The property. That's why we got a Winnie the Pooh horror movie last year. Do you remember that one? Or was it this year? Blood and Honey, but silly.
Yeah.
What?
I've heard about that. Is it out yet, actually?
Yeah, it came out. It made back its budget. Like, they made it for like dirt cheap, and they made like millions. Even though it was like
Clever.
notoriously not a good movie.
Just like Blumhouse films.
Oh.
Although Blumhouse films are not bad.
That's what's his name? The fucking
Who?
James Wan,
James.
big director. I'm doing the same course that he did
Oh, really?
at this uni.
Oh, you did go. You did.
He went here, yeah. It's really interesting.
Mr.
Yeah.
Wan.
All right, I've got some questions. I'm gonna rapid fire at you because they're all very silly. What the dog doing? That's the top question. What the dog doing?
Eating.
Yeah, that's good. Good answer. Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now?
No.
Good answer. We didn't need to elaborate. That was good. Do you support the monarchy? Bear in mind that the king was just crowned, so your answers will be judged partially by the population.
I don't know. I don't really follow them.
Good answer.
So the follow-up question.
I
Yeah,
don't really follow those kind of stuff.
yeah.
Related to that, have you seen his massive sausage fingers?
That's pretty important.
I think I've seen that. And the pen drama thing. That went really viral. That's all that I do.
For sure. Well, that's kind of like it, but we'll just ask you, like, do you have any future, what's next for Jason? That's kind of like the big thing.
Next for me,
Yeah.
documentary.
Oh.
For next try. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping to get picked, but we'll see. Because There are 15 people in my cohort, so I reckon we'll do around 5 or 6, because we won't need as much crew as a narrative film, I reckon.
Yeah.
So I hope we get chosen.
For sure.
But I'm happy to produce anyone's doco, actually.
That goes to everybody in there.
In my cohort.
Yeah.
In my cohort.
Any of the SAE people watching. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to promote? That could even be like a social media or anything.
Yeah, check out the short films that I worked in, especially that Priest films. It was
The Priest movie.
the Priest. Because the title is so long. Nature of
Nature on Boards of Vacuum. Yeah. It's such a cool title.
It is.
We're calling it
it's really
Priest movie.
poetic. It's really poetic. Yeah. Check that out. Definitely. It's just refreshing. It's short. It's just like 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch short films. They're concise, they're short, they deliver the message efficiently. And I think that's what I like about short films.
Unlike the Mario movie, once again. And you can check out his films. The link will be in the bio of the podcast. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ah, all good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
How do we wrap up this interview? And now back to the ending of the podcast.
Whoa!
Yay!
We did it.
That's a good laugh.
Tee.
Yes, your mother.
I thought you were going to do the Chinese accent.
Oh yeah.